Greetings, I'm Jonathan Speard. Trees are the most logical beings on the planet, and welcome to Age of Engineering Supershorts. Between this episode and last, I prepared a really very large number of things, including but not limited to 4 oil generators, a fluid placer, fluid collector, 3 fermenting barrels, and a canola press, many transfer nodes and pipes, and also a conveyor belt, and more to come. Like this resonator, and these solar panels, and a bunch of achievements. These solar panels will give me 12 grid power. Grid power is not produced, it just exists. Different machines take up parts of that grid power. The more machines you're using, the more of your grid power you will be using. The resonator works by slowly using more grid power as it converts an item. It can only use as much grid power as currently exists, which is why it just stopped. But if I made more solar panels, place them down, you'll see the grid power went to 16 and 0. I've made 1 lunar reactive dust, but I still have all 18 grid power. It's just that right now, 9 of it is occupied. With a glass cutter and a moonstone, I can make 4 ender pearls. That's a Peaceful Pack recipe. Now I can make a ranged collector. Now I have everything I need. Step 1, drawers. Step 2, transfer nodes. Step 3, a dropper and a reconstructor. Currently set to pulse mode, but soon to be set to deactivation mode. Step 4, a canola press. Step 5, the fermenting barrels, and Step 6, the fluid placer and collector. And Step 7, the oil generators. And we can't forget the ranged collector and the automatic precision dropper. Of course, none of this will be complete without integrated dynamics. Behold, the mineral tree. It gives mineral logs, crystallized mineral chunks, mineral berries, and mineral saplings. Quite a few drops, but then again, it's quite the tree. Anyway, what we really want are the logs and chunks. With black lotus, I can get black dye, and then I can get a drying basin, and a squeezer. I'll place it here with the water wheel. You can see that the squeezer has 2 little channels going out to either side. Those are the outputs. If I place wood inside of here, and start jumping, the squeezer will squeeze, and mineral will flow into the drying basin. It turns into a block of crystallized mineral. It won't seem to reset. When in doubt, try redstone. 14 should be good for now. I'll need an energy battery, mineral chunks, a variable store, a logic programmer, which I can turn into a portable logic programmer. Don't worry, it's not that complicated. A whole bunch of variable cards, 4 output variable transformers, 4 redstone writers, a sticky piston, which I can make using rice slime balls, input variable transformers, a block reader, pork chops, and an entity reader. I'll place redstone writers in the 2 precision droppers, the fluid collector and the atomic reconstructor. With a block reader here and an entity reader here, and an inventory reader here. 9 logic cables should do the trick exactly. They're crafted like this. Finally, a variable store and energy battery. A few first cables should hook up the oil generator to the energy battery, and with the canola press connected to power, canola oil will start filling the fermenting barrels, and the fermenting barrels will fill the fluid placer with oil. It's set to automatically place liquids, as it just did. Right now I just need power, so I'm going to take the oil and put it into the oil generator. Now our energy battery is filling up, and I can open up things like my entity reader. First, let's pick our variables. How many items are in the inventory? What block is in this space? What entities do we have here? Variable store, materializer. The materializer takes the current value of a variable and turns it into its own variable that will never change. Because these variables that I have right here will change, even though they're not in their readers. Right now this says oil, but not if I drop a crystallized canola seed. Oops. Maybe I could stand to bring this whole system down a little bit. That should do the trick. As I was saying, while this says oil right now, after dropping the seed, it says crystallized oil. Let's materialize that value. Now we have a variable card that always means crystallized oil. Pull out the oil, and materialize the value for oil. If we drop a canola seed here, and put in the variable card for entities, we see that it has canola seeds. Let's materialize that as well. Notice that no matter how many canola seeds it has, it's always the same. For example, I have 2 canola seeds down here, and both of these values are the same. It looks like this value changes with this one, which is weird because it doesn't do that with the block variable cards. So I'm just going to get rid of these variables, and change it to the entity value, which looks at the list of entities, which I believe is alphabetized, and picks the item in the list that corresponds to the number you choose. I'm still having that weird bug, so just to be safe, I'm going to try something else. Bear with me, I'm going to open up the portable logic programmer, pick the name operator, place the entity card in there. I'll place a variable card in the corner, and this card will equal whatever the entity found in the current block is, but its name as a string. If I put the entity card in here, it is now part of the network, and if I place canola seeds with the atomic reconstructor, we can see the name has changed. But rather than do something silly like materialize the current value of this card, I'll just press string in the portable logic programmer, write canola seeds, and make the variable. Now I can pick the equals operator. If the name of the item under the precision dropper equals canola seeds, then this variable will output true. If I use not equals instead, this variable will equal false. But right now, since there are no canola seeds here, it equals true, as you can see. This redstone writer outputs a constant full redstone signal if this slot is filled with a variable whose Boolean value is true. So if I were to throw this variable in here, the atomic reconstructor would turn on. But only once, since it's in pulse mode. So I'll put the variable inside and set the reconstructor to deactivation mode. And now, this redstone signal will only turn off if there are canola seeds there. Then the atomic reconstructor will start firing. Remember I have that inventory count variable? Set an integer variable for 64, and set up a greater than operator that outputs true if there's more than 64 items in the dropper above the oil. Now I'll add it to the redstone writer on the dropper above the atomic reconstructor, and set the dropper to deactivate. It's working. Wait. And now it's stopped. If the block where the oil is equals oil, set to true. If that is true and there's more than 64 crystallized canola seeds, then activate this dropper. It isn't working because this ranged collector is excessively overzealous. Let's try something different. I place a conveyor belt on top of the atomic reconstructor. This item router only lets items through if they match a filter. So crystallized canola seeds, but not normal canola seeds, will pop out the top onto this conveyor belt. The conveyor belts lead to a dropping conveyor belt which drops into a hopper which the transfer pipe pulls out of into the automatic precision dropper. Why does it need to be so egregiously overcomplicated? Because this redstone writer outputs strong power. For some reason, if it didn't, the automatic precision dropper wouldn't activate. But if it does, it turns off a transfer pipe or a hopper or anything you happen to put near it. So sneaky hoppery thing it is. Behold a travesty. Well, at least it works. Didn't I say it was inevitably cluttered? I really should have expected this. Anyway, if the block is not equal to crystallized oil, which is currently false, then activate the fluid collector. Boom, it's working. And that's that. These second cables will let me consolidate the power from my oil generators, like so, while these MV wire connectors and relays and wire coils will help me transfer the power. Now I can really start empowering things. And that's it for today's episode. Yeah, it took a while, but school is keeping me busy. Sorry about that, I'll see what I can do to make episodes come out faster in the future. As always, if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. I hope you enjoyed!